And then of course we come to Hagalaz, which is one of my favourite runes. How gorgeous is that? Got two parallel lines, and then these two diagonal lines in parallel going from top to bottom, left to right. It's gorgeous. And of course, the first rune in spelling Hermione. Lovely. You haven't finished your runes assignment yet. Oh. What? You don't even understand the Ancient Rune's alphabet. You understand our parchments are due in 2 hours. Well, I've already finished mine, okay? That's the only reason I can help you. Well, we're gonna have to just start from the beginning. Yeah, we're just gonna have to learn the alphabet, okay? I have made my very own poster for studying, and I'll let you borrow that, okay? But you really need to stay on top of your work. Can't let it wait till the last minute like this. Doesn't this make you stressed? Sorry, I know I'm not trying to make it worse. But seriously, I can't believe that you would do that. Never mind. Let's just settle down. We'll just take our time together. We'll figure out some sort of distraction and that we can... Yes, we'll have to. In order to give you more time on your assignment, we're just going to have to start from the beginning, and whatever time it takes, it takes. I can't believe those words are coming out of my mouth, but it's a little dark in here. Should I put the light on? Lumos. Now let me find my parchment, which is... Here we go. This is the Ancient Rune alphabet, okay? So you can see here the characters. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yes, all 3 of those are 1. They're a little bit confusing, but we'll worry about those when we get to them, okay? Now, I will let you borrow this sheet, so don't worry about that, okay? So we first here have this shape, which is faux. Now, you'll notice here on my cheat sheet, we've also got the letter it corresponds to in the English alphabet. But if you look here for faux, it's an F sound. You can also see it looks a bit like a tilted F. Our alphabet is somewhat based on the ancient runic alphabet, so there are some similarities, which will make your job a little bit easier. So faux here also looks a little bit like a tree, but we won't worry about that, will we? So next, you can see here is urus, which which is an U sound, or the U sound, urus. And it's signified almost with an upside down V. If you know anything about the way that English has been written through the time, in Old English they used to use an actual V for the U sound. I don't know if that helps you at all. Yes, probably, just for those of us who read quite a bit. So, let's see, what's another way that you could think for that? It looks kind of like a mountain. I don't know. I mean, for me, it just looks like urus when I look at it. You remember that one? Okay. So next is this here. You can see it's a straight line with this triangle shape on the side. And this is Thurisaz. Yes, Thurisaz. What were you doing in the first year of Ancient Runes? Were you paying any attention? Oh dear. Anyway, never mind that now. So, for this one, you can see here, I sometimes think of it almost as, the word the. It starts with that sound, the sound. And I think of this kind of as a pointer, pointing at the next word, like this is the next word. So, the, and then you get Thurisaz. Next, we have Ansus. And this, you can see, has this symbol. Now, the way I think of it is if you turn this a little, put it down this way, turn this up, you can see it is in the shape of an A, which is what the sound is. It's an R sound or an A sound. It's Ansus. And so I think of it kind of, you take an A, you shorten this up, and you turn this side up and kind of put it up there. Does that help you at all? Good. Now Rido, I assume you know Rido. No, I shouldn't assume, should I? Rido is an R sound. It's quite obviously an R. Can you see that? Good, good. Then we have, excuse me, I have a hair in my eye. Then we have Kaunen. You can see this is like a K shape without the line. It's just the K. And then we have Kibo, which is a G sound. Kibo. Now it looks like an X. And the way I would think about it is if you're thinking about a treasure map that's going to guide you to the knowledge that you need for your Ancient Runes assignments, Hermione Granger is the X that marks the spot of your treasure. Yes, I would say quite so. So think of Granger with the G, and that will be your X that marks the spot on that treasure map. Next, we have Wunjo. Wunjo. And this is a W sound. So for Wunjo, you can think of it almost, if you had the W here, if it was turned on its side, you would have this. You can see that would be that part of the W. And then this other side has just been turned all around and straightened out. So that makes Wunjo. Yeah. Works well enough. Wunjo. This is my favourite rune. And this is Hagalaz. It's a gorgeous rune, isn't it? It's lovely. You have two parallel lines, and then these 2 parallel lines as well, going in a diagonal fashion from left to right, top to bottom. And that is your H sound. So you actually see this hint that I would recommend you do is to put your own name into rune form. It'll make it so much easier to practice and memorize at least a few of the first runes. So you can say I have H for Hermione. We'll go to the rest at the end. But I love that H. It's gorgeous. Next we have now D's. See now D's here? Yes, it's a line with just this little dash across. That dash across is quite important, and it is at a diagonal. So when you're writing your exam, be sure not to write it straight across. It needs to be diagonal. So that's now D's. And you just have to remember that's an N. The way I remember it, actually, because if you look next is we have the Isas, which is the I sound. Or Isas, but I call it Isas. So you can think I and then N. Like in. They're kind of similar. Then we have J for Jera. You can see it's these 2 little shapes together. It's almost like, if you look at this way, you can see it's almost like a little J. And then it's just a second J put together. So that's how you can think of the J. And then we have Iwas. Iwas. This is Isas, Iwas. I'm horrible for those. I'm horrendous. I'm sorry. I really do apologize on how bad I am at this. So, Iwas is this one. You have the straight line and then these 2 diagonals. Isas and Iwas. And the other one, what's the other one I get wrong? Ewas. I'm so bad. Now next we have Perth, which is here. This is a P sound, so it makes a p sound. The way I think of it is actually if you think about your mouth making that p sound. You can almost think of it puckering up, your lips coming together like that. It almost looks like that shape. So that's how I always remember Perth, is that way. Then we have AZ, which is Algiz. For Algiz, the Z sound, that Z sound, it looks quite a bit like a Y, doesn't it? So you just have to think it's the next one over. Yes, a lot of this is memorization, so you really will have to practice it, okay? But I will give you my sheet, it should help. Next we have our S sound, Sowilo. Now this one should be quite easy, because you look at it, and what does it look like? It looks like S, does it not? Yes, it looks like it's spelling S-E-S. But it just makes an S sound, which is Sowilo. Now we have Tewaz. Tewaz is just an up arrow. But you can think of it as a T. If you just bring this up, it looks just like a T. It's kind of like a bent T is Tewaz. Yes. Now this one, yes, it's a B sound, that's correct. And it's Bakanen. Yes, Bakanen. So that's how you do that B sound. My hair just keeps coming in up my face. I need to work a charm, but I can't be bothered right now. Then we have Eowaz. Ewas looks like an M. Yes, if you think about M, it's E-M, and so Ewas is the M shape, and it stands for E, or E, as we should say. For our M, we have this very cool looking M. If you think of it like with the H, where we have the H, it's kind of this cool looking H. This is the cool looking M. It's got this cross, fashion across it. Now we have Lagoose, the L sound. For this one, you can see it is almost like an upside down, twisted around L. Can you see that? Wonderful. Now this one can be hard for people to kind of understand because we use 2 letters in English for this when we're writing. That's the sound, so N-G, So if you wanted to say sing, all you would have to do is use the E sound, which is here, and then the ing. But as I said, this is a complicated rune. So with this rune, you either use this symbol, and this one is always there. And you either use these 2 or these 2. So when you're looking in text, you might see it either way. Important to remember that. And then we have Othela, which is the O sound. So for Othela, looks like an O with a little pedestal it's sitting on, I think. And then we have our dagas, which is like a D with a mirrored D as well. You see that? So, again we have Fehu, Urus, Thuras, Thurisas, Ansus, Raido, Kaunen, Kibo, Unju, Agalas, Naudis, Isas, Jera, Iwas, Perth, Algi, Sowilo, Tewas, Bakanen, Ewas, Manas, Lagus, Ingwas, Othila, Tagas. So you can see at the bottom, I've done my name. We have Hagalas, and then Ewas, Raido, then we have Manas, then of course Ansus, Isas, Othila, Naudis, Iwas. So why don't you go ahead and show me which letters you think your name would use?